I don't think I've done too many knife reviews on the Kershaw brand over the last 4 or 5 years. There have been some. There have been some good blades. Dig into the playlists here in the Nut and Fancy Project. You'll see them. But I have not concentrated on them for a long time. That's because as a knife aficionado, a knife collector, a knife user, a knife reviewer of sorts, I haven't really been attracted to a lot of their models. I think they've kind of sucked, to be honest. I told you that in another KRV on the Kershaw brand. It will post around this one. Depends on how you guys digest them. The faster you watch, the faster they post. The good news is I'm playing catch up. There are some good models coming out, kind of like this one right here. The Kershaw Atmos. Atmos 4037. It weighs 2 ounces, y'all. 2 ounces for the Atmos. Oh, here we go. Nut and Fancy is going to get excited over a lightweight knife. You know it, bro. I am. I love lightweight blades in the EDC roll. In the utility roll. I've always said that ever since I started TMP many years ago, like dating back to 1983. But yeah, I like them. They're cool. I mean, here I still have on the table the long discontinued, also Kershaw brand, 1770 Mini Lee Williams. Look at this. This thing weighs like 1.1 ounces. Great cast member. Never getting rid of it. It's got that cool leaf flipper on it. Super cool. Remember, if you haven't seen it before, I have covered it in a lot of knife videos that I do pair my knives up. So generally, I do not carry just an EDC blade. It will be paired with a tactical blade. And today it's going to be the Microsoft SOCOM. That's right, and it's paired with the Boker FR. So this is my pairing for today. Tactical blade, emergency defensive tool, utility knife, opening packages, prepping food. Accessed frequently, seldom accessed unless I do a gear check. Or I run into a knife guy, we start talking blades. Then it's kind of fun. To be honest, that's what I mostly carry it for. I just like hauling around some blades. It makes me happy. Kind of like watches. Still wearing, by the way, the Field Walker by Momentum. The Auto Watch, super cool. A little bit pricey for non-watch guys. For watch guys, this thing is almost free. It's so cheap. Yeah, there is a big disparity. I mean, watch guys, if they say it's under $1,000, it's like really, really affordable. Orologists, of which I am not. Just a watch enthusiast. But it's kind of like this. I like wearing this today. It's fun. Makes me happy. Same with carrying a tactical blade. I mean, it just makes me happy. I like it. If I needed it, yeah, it's there. I like the layering of defensive tools. I've always said that. And then this is my pairing for today. So I'm making the point that this would not be my only knife. But that being said, why does it have to be so light? Why am I such a stickler on lightweight? Well, you guessed it. It's because I don't want it to weigh much because I have other blades and watches and weapons and other things that I'm carrying day to day. Now, this presents very well. It looks very classy. It looks like it should be more expensive than it is. The Kershaw Atmos. That's all good, by the way. 4037 again is the model number. We'll start here at the blade. Very elegant blade shape. Hollow ground. The steel is, I think, HCR 13 MOV. Yep, that's it. Nice blade shape. Really precise tip for any detail work you'd have to do. Interesting grind going on there. We have some jimping on the top, and it's semi-functional. It's not horrible, don't get me wrong. It's actually pretty good. I have my gloves on. I'm going to keep them on so you guys don't have to look at my ugly fingernails, which are all torn up, by the way. It's torn, nothing fancy. Whatever. So the blade is really well presented. I like the blade. And we've seen this blade style in a bunch of knives. Remember, there really aren't that many totally original knife designs. It's kind of regurgitating the same formula over and over again with some twists. And I don't really mind that, for the record. I think it's fun. The little twists are fun. Kind of like a watch. I may get another Field Walker in black. You know, this Momentum watch. It's the same watch, but I'm getting it in a different color, and it makes me happy. So here's a leaf flipper in full size, kind of a similar blade style. And here comes the oh so sweet, just because it's hanging out here, kind of a similar blade style. This one really reminds me of it. The Kershaw, I'm sorry, the CRKT Ripple. You know, the Ripple, let's do a size comparison. This is a great knife. I reviewed the Ripple a long time ago, but you can see it's very similar. It's just a long, elegant EDC blade. Although you'll see that the Atmos has kind of an up sweep, so it does have more belly on it, more sweep on the tip. This is more of a drop point with a swedge grind coming down towards the tip on the Ripple. Do you guys still have a Ripple? They're sure a fun knife. Really cool looking. The clips have to be ground down though. They are so obnoxious. I think I worked on this one a little bit. I can't remember. Otherwise they'll catch on a bunch of different stuff. But, you know, it's an alien knife. It looks like an alien knife. I think they're still making it too. It comes in black. This is the blue version. Back to the Atmos. So I like the blade. The sharpness on it is good. Here comes a cutting test on camera. Maybe excellent sharpness. I love 8CR. I really do. I'm glad to see it's getting much more love in the knife community. And it's recognized as a pretty excellent value steel. No, it's not S35. It's not S90. It's not CPM 20V. It's 8CR, but it keeps and holds an edge pretty well, and it will rust like the dickens on you if you let it. I just rolled something on camera. I don't know where it went. It's showing you the rust spots I had on an 8CR blade. But I like it. Good steel choice. I've said that a lot. Let's check the speed deployment of this thing. Before we do, downside on this is it's a kind of an abrupt ground flipper tab right here. See that? It's got serrations on it, but really sharp transitions. What I would do if you get this knife is maybe just sand it down, file it. I usually will use a Dremel. And the knife is so inexpensive, don't even worry about it. This is going to be a user blade. Again, even though it presents like a gentleman's knife, like a more expensive blade. But deployment is fast, flipper design. I love that. Lockup, let's check that. This is KVT ball bearing deployment, by the way. Like I've said, they're putting it on a lot of different knives, so that's pretty nice. Stop pin, 420 stainless steel liner, which is probably just coated or painted. It'll show some cool wear over time. There's your timing on the lock bar. Captured liner lock, so you don't have to worry about hyperextending it. Here's your centering. Excellent retention, just right, but the detent isn't so much that bringing it out fast is a problem. We have kind of an homage to a semi-custom on the pivot point, but this side is just for aesthetics. This is where you'd adjust it. It's a micro Torx. The handle isn't FRN. Big surprise at this price point. It is G10 with a carbon fiber inlay in it. Again, it presents like a more expensive blade, and yet you're paying a very low price for the Kershaw Atmos. Nice milling on the G10 handle. I don't detect any hot spots, but it is a very small knife, so it doesn't really matter that much. We're not bushcrafting with this thing. Totally slick on the side. Don't expect any traction. I would just put a little tiny run of skateboard tape on there if you want it to extract from the pocket a little bit quicker. Lanyard hole, that's amazing actually for a knife of this size. Maybe some guys will put that on. I think that is an aluminum backspacer right there, comprising the lanyard hole portion of the Atmos, and then it has a really nice clip on it. Deep carry, so good to see. Can go over thick tactical pants. If I were to just give this like a 0 to 5 star rating on the clip, just out of the box, I'm going to give this like 4.5 stars. That's how good this clip is on the Atmos. What? Nothing fancy, that's crazy talk. No, it's really excellent. I mean, it's deep carry, it's blackened, usually what I like. It doesn't have any Wizard of Oz issues coming on. It's flared just enough. I wouldn't have to work on this clip, and it is reversible left to right. And as a flipper design, this is going to be a great lefty knife. Yeah, I mean, really, I'm looking at this knife for 28 bucks. I'm going, is there anything wrong with it? And the answer is pretty much no. I've made some minor criticisms. I mean, I talked to you about, the jimping could be sharper. We could have some traction on the side. But honestly, those are quibbles. For the price point, 2 ounces, 8CR, 2 ounces. Here's this side of the blade if I didn't show you. Yeah, I signed it. Sinkovich design. Dude, you did a great job with this knife. It is just a classic EDC knife. For comparison, I showed you some already. I may bring them again onto the table. Here's a Kit Carson M16 EDC. Dude, we haven't seen this for a while, have we? Still a cast member. Nope, I never carry it. I like it, I really do. I don't know why. I just haven't carried it in a long time. I'm bringing it onto the table to show you a size comparison and show you how the long, elegant blade is very similar in its capabilities. And I've said in a lot of KRVs that I prefer that over a fatter, maybe leaf-shaped blade. Spyderco is known for. I've just gravitated to these longer blades for my utility tasks. If I'm not using my, you guessed it, utility knife, my Sheffield plastic utility knife. Here comes an Endura for size comparison. This one's coated in sky blue by ourselves once upon a year when we had the shop up and running against the Atmos. See ya, M16. So there's a size comparison for you. And then I think reviewed this one. I don't know how these videos will post in what order, so it could get a little confusing. Here's the Ferrum Forge Gentleman's folder, I think. Reviewed separately. I love this knife. Very excellent. I tweeted it. Much more expensive than this one, though. I mean, this one I think was like 80, 90 bucks, which I think is a deal. It has S35, those beautiful G10 scales, titanium frame. Super high quality Chinese manufacturer. It's just a great blade. This one marked with a Mass Drop logo. You should subscribe to my Twitter feed because anytime I see a really cool Mass Drop coming along, I will throw down a tweet and let you know. And then I'll put in my code there that will save you 10 bucks. Use my code. And then I get some bucks from that if you use my code. And guess what I do with it? You guessed it. I buy more blades for the show. Or perhaps a watch. And this is a Timex Easy Reader on a leather NATO. No, this is not a Mass Drop. I just got this out of Amazon. Review coming. Real nice watch. I mean, look at those stick hands. Super affordable. Black case. It almost looks like a classic field watch, but it's bigger. I think this is like 44, 43 millimeters across. Awesome. Back to the Atmos though. Highly recommended. I say buy with confidence. For the money you're spending, it's like almost free. It's almost free. Enjoy it and carry it. Deep carry. G10, not plastic. Everything else is super minor. You'll love it. Nothing fancy.